G'day folks, Tony again here for more Let's Play The Flame in the Flood. I think it's probably fair to say, based on the last two parts of this Let's Play, that our previous run ended in a less than ideal fashion. So it's been probably, I think, a year and a half since I last played this, and clearly I'm not up to speed with it anymore, and have forgotten a whole bunch of stuff. So maybe this time around we might give this a go on the Traveller difficulty, and hopefully that's not going to make it too easy, but given how we did last time, I think we'll probably still have a little bit of a struggle. So clearly there are going to be some differences this time around, although it might be tricky to tell which of them are the result of playing on a different difficulty level and which of them are the result of kind of randomization in terms of the elements of this game which are procedural. I'm not exactly sure what is and isn't procedural. I'm not exactly sure how that randomness, air quotes, is generated. But I am looking forward to seeing how this run goes compared to the last one. So one of the things that we said we were going to try and emphasize more this time around was paying attention to food. Certainly catching rabbits in those snares is going to be pretty important. Might also make a change to my compulsive habit of collecting absolutely everything, because I'm pretty sure the game smacked me pretty hard for that. I was paying too much attention to just trying to hoover up all the things, and not enough attention to my basic wants and needs, particularly food. This is relatively similar to what we found in here last time. Certainly there was both a jar and a water filter last time. So let's fill that up so that we have some stinky water. I guess we'll open this up and we'll craft some clean water while we can. We'll also make ourselves a stone knife because that's one of the main things that we need. Make a little bit of braided cord. I think a stone, what do we need for a stone hammer? We need some rags as well. Keep our eyes peeled. Go away. Now there's always a danger of overcorrecting in terms of what we're setting out to do. I might make a little bit of tinder as well, just so that we're not using all of our cat's tails on the one thing. So that's going to give us our basic tools, quests that we got last time. We'll see if we got anything. Nothing to collect. What a drag. Oh well, off to the river in our rickety raft. Maybe have a little more luck with some of our steering this time around. I'm going to try and be a little more liberal in my use of paddling hard to try and avoid things, and also be a little more mindful of looking for goodies to pick up along the way. Sounds like we have ourselves a groovy travelling tune to listen to. It's worth pointing out how fantastic the soundtrack for this game is in terms of evoking tone and place. So my understanding is that the setting of this game, I mean, from the sounds of things, it is in the American South, but it looks like a post-civilization kind of thing. I guess it doesn't really have all of the typical trappings that you'd expect from a post-apocalyptic game, but I'm not entirely sure that things have happened here in terms of a traditional apocalypse. What a weird phrase to say out loud. Camera's ability to induce stress through limited field of view is quite impressive. Alright, so keeping our eyes peeled for weird trolleys, that we can potentially pick things up from. Here's one. Oh, a little bit of stagnant water there. Got it, and got it. Nice. Grubs and a fishhook. Hey, those things go together, I assume. Try not to hit the floating house. And what have we got coming on down the line? We're mixing our railroad and river analogies now, or phrasings or sayings. Probably don't need to go to the marina at this stage. So let's try and scoot over here to this church and see what we can find. Saints Landing. Good shelter, often has rags, stitching kits, and alcohol. I like all of those things. So saplings are what we needed for snares last time. Certainly plenty of them around, much as there were last time, even though we got all in a tangle. What do you got? Alcohol. And a knit hat. How lovely. Can we put that on? Let's try and put that on. Equip. Man, that is one tricky hat if it takes that long to put on. Nice. Okay. What else do we have here? Won't go into the church just yet. Did we miss anything? Doesn't look like it. Not too many nooks and crannies to explore down the front there. Maybe a crate here that we missed? Yes. Goodness me, what are you trying to tell me, game? Alright, we only have an option to sleep. The game is not giving us an option to loot. Interesting. I don't think we need to grab any more than that, but something that I am going to try to do is, now that we're going back to the raft, we're going to try and shift a few things around into that raft before we get going. So it looks like we start with considerably more inventory spaces than we had on the other difficulty level. That will be nice. But I'm sure it's going to fill up pretty quickly. Best save for medicinal purposes. Avoid drinking at all cost. About drunk. It's what do we got here? Parasites. Delicious. Keep that clean water. Keep those. Don't think I'm going to need them immediately. While I think of it, let's make some of these things too while we can. And get that stone hammer done. And I'm going to make a snare so that we can catch a rabbit. In fact, why not make two? Sure. Might have been nice to try making a trap there that we could use to kill a boar or a wolf. I do seem to recall that I killed a lot of boars and wolves with that in the past. But I might try focusing on the food situation, seeing as that's why we perished last time. So we've got ourselves a campsite and we've got ourselves some forested area. This one's closer, so why not? What's this called? Cerulean Sands. Light on supplies. A light on supplies doesn't mean no supplies. I'm assuming being on traveller difficulty might be a little more generous as well. Certainly plenty of cat's tails here, floating around in the muck. Shoe. So on the topic of shooing crows, I can only assume that they're generating noise based on my presence that could potentially alert things that are far more nasty and have them come over and and try and do us a mischief, which certainly isn't what we want. Is that all? Is that everything? What am I missing here? There's an area up the back that I didn't see. Doesn't appear to be the case. All right. So there's a glowing ring near these barrels here. Is that something I can do something with? Is there something there that I can't reach? What is going on? It shall forever remain a mystery. Am I potentially able to shoot them if I have a bow and arrow? It's not worth starving over, so let's keep moving. And once again, trying to form a good habit here when we get back to the raft, which is a safer area, because I don't believe enemies can spawn in it. Plenty of braided cord. Make a little bit more tinder so that we can start a fire. Don't want to go too crazy with it. And let's continue. Come on, Aesop. Time to move. Can we scoot all the way over to the left? I'm sorry, to the port. And make it to that campsite. Strength of the current seems to indicate maybe a yes. Maybe. Yes. Good. I'm also feeling... Vaz's Refuge often has flint, always has a lit fire. Nice. Maybe we could cook something there. The apparent strength... Great. I don't think I'm bleeding right now, but maybe that's telling me I can do that later. Okay. The apparent strength of the currents seems to not be as strong. At least that's my impression. As I'm manoeuvring on this analog stick. We might hoover all the things. I'm also pretty sure that that our stats are dropping far slower than they were last time as well. So a little more cruisy, a little less pressure, maybe a little more opportunity to make mistakes without being completely thrashed as a result of them. Another very confined area. Let's see how this works. Sit, sleep, get charcoal, cancel. Let's see what sit does. I imagine that's going to give us some cooking opportunity. Yes, indeed. Makes a hearty meal, but you have to cook it first. Well, let's do it then. I notice there's a box trap here for live trapping small animals. Okay, so the snare will kill rabbits, and the box will catch them live. I'm assuming there's a good reason to want to have live ones, but not entirely sure why. Let's make a spear trap so we have one. And that will probably do for now. Keep tapping those buttons instead of holding them. I do the same thing in Destiny 2. We might try a bit of looting. Nice. And there's no immediate need to sleep, I think. So let's keep going. Good habits, Tony. Good habits. We want to move things. I'll move that to the raft. To the raft with you. What have we got down here? Ugh. I have to move the cursor to scroll. That's frustrating. And we'll keep that. We'll keep that. Away with you. And you as well. Garlic. Let's move that there. Don't have any more flint I can move. Tremendous. You're doing pretty well so far. He says prophetically. Maybe I'm intentionally trying to jinx myself. Now the rain begins. Maybe. So if it does start raining, we're definitely going to hoof it to somewhere and try and get a little bit of shelter. There we go. Hope this was the right direction to reach that campsite. It seems promising. Let me get close enough to grab that. Oh, nicely done. Ill-equipped. Tell me about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we are at beautiful Camp Durand. Always has flint. Often has flint, always has a lit fire. That sounds pretty good. We just keep getting tasks. I wonder if they're stacking or if they're replacing things. I'm too wet to care right now. Let's try and make a run for... No. Try and make a run for some shelter. And then hopefully in the morning, or later in the day rather, sure, 4 hours sounds fine. It won't be raining anymore. We can dry ourselves off and light a fire. Good, good, good. Very nice. Let's pick up all the things. So it looked. It also looked like when we went to sleep there that the penalties, the hunger and hydration penalties, were a lot less steep from taking some downtime. So many rabbits here. I know what we're going to be doing. Off you go. Let's grab everything. Is that camera zooming out purely because of the bus? Every time there's a pull-out like that, I keep going, what is it that you want me to pay attention to? Some sort of horrible creature come to devour me? Or the bright yellow school bus in the middle of the scene? There is a lot more stuff lying around here. Can I loot you? No, I can't. Very well. What else do we have here? Sapling, good. All right. Looks like that might be all of it. Other than looting the building, which we might try now. Nice. And then a fire that we can that we can light later. That we can lit lighter. We can light litter. All right. How should we go about this? We've got 2 snares. We could probably make a bunch more. How many could we make? Another 2. Sure. I mean, let's try setting up a couple now. We're going to plonk one over, and the sensitivity is nuts. We'll plonk one there. Again with the hold button, Tony. And let's set up the other one here. Let's try and make them look nice and symmetrical. Because why not? There we go. Good times. Now I'm just going to run down here. I'm going to whistle nonchalantly and not pay any attention to it. And then we're going to come on back. Oh, what? Are you kidding? Nice. 1, 2. We're all good. Rabbit meat and rabbit hide. Very, very good. There are plenty more rabbits here, so, I mean, when in Rome, make another couple. No. And deploy them. And try our luck again. No, not a spear trap. That would be amusing. I used a spear trap to defeat this ferocious rabbit. That's a python-esque rabbit. If it's doing us that much damage. Okie dokie. Symmetry is important again. Yep. And I guess while that's happening, we can go over this way and use that fire and start turning some of this raw meat into unraw meat. Let's go. Yeah, we did it. And I heard one of those traps go off already. And there's the other one. Nice. I shall return very soon. Excellent. Whoops. Nearly went to sleep. Fire crafting available. Good, good, good. Excellent. Let's grab a little bit of charcoal from here while we're here. And then we'll have a look and see how much sustenance are we going to get from that cooked meat. Quite a bit. We'll eat one of them now. It's going to bring us back almost to full health. Spoils after 6 days. That's pretty cool as well. Now, we could cook this yucca that we can't eat raw, but we can eat when it's cooked. It doesn't say that that spoils, and at the moment I don't want to cook it in case for some weird reason the cooked version would spoil. So let's make our way back to the raft. And good habits, good habits, good habits. We'll do a little bit of inventory management. Everybody's favourite thing. I'll be quite frank. This is not the part of the game where I want to be spending my time, but I have to do an awful lot of clicking. You are now the Flint dog, Aesop. I have to spend an awful lot of time in here wrangling around with stuff. And as much as I appreciate these stylized icons, they can be a little tricky to quickly eyeball and compare like to like. That is not what I wanted. Don't really need to eat anything else. I'm going to move that. I'm going to move that. This is, I'm sure, compelling viewing, hearing me literally narrate the things that I'm doing. What would I most like to get at this point in time? I think I would really appreciate some more lumber so that I can try doing some raft upgrading. And I think I would probably also appreciate another jar. I think it would be quite handy. Is there anything that I can make for the raft? Yes, a raft frame, a basic building block for upgrading your raft. Why not? Perhaps it's a better idea to do that when I need it, but I guess that's one of the things that we'll slowly discover as we perish in entirely new ways other than not having enough to eat. And try scooting across really hard to the starboard side. Is it going to let us? Kind of. Good. Because it looks like a farmhouse icon there, which I'm imagining is going to be a reasonably generous location. Vincent Gardens, farmstead, a source of wild food and clean water. I do like the sound of that. All right. Devil's Trumpet. Now, I believe this red patch here is a batch of poison ivy. Not really something that we have here in Australia, so not something that I'm terribly mindful of. There's plenty of things in this country that'll bite you and kill you, but a plant that makes you super itchy, yeah, not something that's immediately at the front of my mind. What did you find? A feather. Nice. Was that feather there before, or did I flush the feather out of the crow by shooing them away? Are you trying to tell me something? What's going on? Are you just having a fun old time running around? Sure. I mean, I like being outside too. Get out. Give me some loot. Ooh, nuts and bolts. Nice. Moldy lumps and flints. So, yeah, there we go. Is that what you were trying to tell me, Aesop? Sure thing. So boars should leave us alone if we stay away from them for a little bit of time. I have a cunning plan. Now, what's the directionality here? Okay, I can see the way that's bending, so if we plonk that... oh god, which way is which? That way. Then the way that I'm looking at those spikes indicates that that might work. Now, I don't know if I can trigger this trap from going off, so I'm going to play it on the safe side. Because that would be, let's face it, pretty embarrassing. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come play, come play. Let's do it. So it doesn't appear that Aesop can set it off. Oh no, what are you doing? That is not at all what I wanted you to do. Come back. Come play with me. Come on, come play. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I promise. It'll be fun time. Fun time for everyone. Yay! Oh no! That did not work as planned. Ah! There we go. We did it. It was a complete success. Delicious. Tainted meat. I like the sound of that. Right, so we're not in the best state of health now. You see that lovely little new animation that's playing there. We're kind of thirsty, so we're going to just drink straight from this well so that we keep our full container of water. And I suspect that with the broken bone that we now have, we're going to need to make ourselves a splint. I think we have grabbed all the things that we were going to grab. Let's not trudge through the poison ivy. That would add insult to injury. In a very literal sense in this case. Slowly stagger our way back here. Let's have a look and see. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Do we have a splint option here? We do. What do we need for a splint? We need more saplings. Do we have them? Or have we used all of them? Doesn't look like we've got any immediately available. But that's okay. We can try and find our way to somewhere where we can use them. Is there an auto stack, I wonder? Don't really know that there is. But we'll move a few things to Aesop so that we've got ourselves a little bit of space. There we go, that can go to the raft. That looks like a pretty fair arrangement of things. So what's this ailment that we've got? Broken bone. Set a break wrong and you'll hobble for life. Keep a splint handy and fix yourself the right way or you'll regret it the rest of your days. Sure. Well, certainly don't want that to happen, but we need to find somewhere that we can hang our weary head. While we're waiting, it might be nice to try doing an upgrade. Rust Water Station provides gas and a raft upgrade and repair kit. Nice. Alright. What will this give us the opportunity to do? Minor repairs, major repairs, raft hardware, raft schematic. Can we make any of those things yet? Repair kit. Raft frame, which we already have one of. Doesn't look like it. Where are our other options? All the way down here. Ugh. Raft hardware. Need more nuts and bolts. And I guess we'll get them eventually. It's It's lovely having those varied animation sets depending on our character's state of health. Swinging around. All right, let's hoof it. And we need to, because I can see the recording clock and you can't. We're heading close to our limit here. Dodge the car. Keeping eyes peeled for loot. And of course, we're in a long stretch of river where there's not much to do. Definitely a more tranquil feel here compared to playing it on the more experienced setting. Here we go. Find somewhere to shack up here. Where are we? Kuma's Sleepy Woods. Very good. So if we do see a sapling, which yes indeed we do, let's make ourselves a splint right now if we can. Good. And we're going to set that broken bone. And just like that, it's cured. So clearly that red meter was filling up on that broken bone, and I imagine something extra bad happens if it gets all the way to the end. So there's a ton of stuff that we could do around here, but right now we're going to call it here for this Let's Play. So thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate your patronage. So if you want to like or comment, or better yet, subscribe to the channel, please do so below. And if you'd like to get in touch with me personally on Twitter, you can contact me at Kalinskald. That's Kalinskald. And there's also details of the podcast that I do in the notes below. So thank you all very much for watching, and we'll catch you again soon for more Let's Play The Flame and the Flood.